What's up YouTube, it's Onion Bomb here, and welcome to my NFL 2017-2018 playoff prediction video. Now, before we get into what my predictions are for the playoffs and the Super Bowl for this year, this is kind of part of my series of NFL predictions, which I predicted all the regular season weeks too. So if you're not here for that, if you didn't watch the series, I'm about to recap how I went on week 17. But if you're like a new viewer and you're only here for the NFL playoffs, then skip to the skip notation that's on the screen now. But if you're not and you want to see how I did for week 17, then feel free to stay tuned and wait till the playoffs come around. But yeah, so alright, now you should see on screen now how I did for week 17 of the NFL regular season of 2017. And as you guys can see, despite being a little bit wrong about like who's benching who, like player-wise for the NFC, at least I think I got the AFC pretty right, but for the NFC I might have tweaked a little bit. I went 12-4. Which was very, very good. It tied my second best record. It would have been my best record, but the week before that I went 14-2. So yeah, not quite 16-0, but that was very close. And 12-4 is definitely really good, which that brings my total overall. This is my complete overall from weeks 2 through 17, because I didn't start this series till week 2, so I missed week 1. I have 150 total guesses correct, and only 91 guesses incorrect. I did not bring 100 on guesses incorrect. I might have if I started the series week 1, or maybe I wouldn't have, depending how good I did week 1. But hey, we'll just see. Next year I'll start this week 1, because I do want to do more of this next year. But we still have the playoffs. But I'm going to recap some of these games real quick here for week 17 before we get into the playoffs. So for week 17, the Lions beat the Packers. I got that right. The Vikings beat the Bears. I got that wrong. I thought the Vikings were benching, and they didn't. So, honest mistake. At least I don't think they did. The Colts beat Texans. I got that wrong. I should have expected that because the Texans, like, everyone's injured now. The Steelers beat the Browns. I got that right. And the Browns did finish, unfortunately for them, 0-16. There's always next year, Cleveland, but it's probably not going to be much better. The Patriots beat the Jets. I got that right. The Giants beat the Redskins, surprisingly. I got that wrong. The Cowboys, I guess, technically blew out the Eagles, but it was only 6-0. That must have been a very boring game. I got that right. The Titans beat the Jaguars. I got that right. The Bills beat the Dolphins. I got that right. The Bengals beat the Ravens. I got that right. No, that knocked them out of the playoffs. The Chargers beat the Raiders. I got that right. The Cardinals surprisingly beat the Seahawks. I got that wrong. I thought if the Seahawks were going to get knocked out of the playoffs, it was because the Falcons won, but no, it was because they lost. Well, Falcons won too, but you'll see in a minute. 49ers beat the Rams. I got that right. The Falcons beat the Panthers. I got that right. And the Chiefs beat the Broncos. I got that right. And the Buccaneers beat the Saints. I got that right as well. So that should equal out to 12-14. So with week 17 being all recapped, and you see my final overall of how I went for the regular season, now let's get into predicting this year's playoffs. Alright, so here we go. As you guys can see on the screen, this is the bracket that we're looking for the playoffs of 2017-2018. At first, I'm not gonna lie, I recorded this video. I was a little bit off on the bracket. But I got it right this time because this was officially posted, this bracket here, by the NFL on their Instagram, Twitter, and like YouTube and stuff like that. So this is definitely the correct bracket. So for the AFC wild card, we have the Chiefs versus the Titans, and the other one is the Jaguars versus the Bills. And then for the NFC wildcard, we have the Saints versus the Panthers, and then the Rams versus the Falcons. So we're going to start with the AFC. I'm going to start with the Chiefs and Titans, the winner versus my team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Titans being a wildcard team, the Chiefs being the AFC West champions. I'm going to go with the Chiefs here just because of the Titans just don't seem like that good of a team to me to like advance very far in the playoffs. I could like I definitely see them in this wild card position, but I don't think they're gonna move any further. I think the Chiefs have more experience and just are an overall better team, so they will be advancing to verse the Steelers, and that's pretty much it. I just think the Chiefs have what it takes to beat the Titans. It might be a good game. The Chiefs, they started out 5-0. They falled to like 6-5, but they ended up with a decent 10-6 record. So, yeah, I got the Chiefs on this one. And the second wildcard game, the Jaguars and the Bills. The Bills being the wildcard team, and the Jaguars being the AFC South champions. I have the Jaguars on this one. The Bills, it honestly it's cool. It's cool that the Bills got back to the playoffs after a long time. Even the Jaguars haven't been here for a while. That's a wild card game no one probably predicted, but the reason I have the Jaguars is because their defense has just been so elite, and they have been so surprising. The Bills, don't get me wrong, they were surprising too, but then they started getting a little bit strange and funny and losing to like these weird teams. They did beat some good teams, but they've lost to some bad teams too. And just the Jaguars have just been hard on defense, and offense, there's Leonard Fournette, but there's still Blake Bortles as a quarterback. But I do think he can get enough done to beat the Bills, and they're going to advance to the number 1 seed and verse the number 1 seed New England Patriots. So let's move on to the NFC wild card, and we'll start with the Rams and the Falcons. The Falcons in the NFC South as well. They are the wildcard team, while the Rams are the NFC West champions. I'm going with the Rams beating the Falcons here. The Falcons just squeezing in the playoffs. The Falcons have been shaky this season. Some people were sensing a Super Bowl hangover, but nope. They came back, and they did just make a wild card position. I think the Rams can win this one just because they seem like the better team here. Just with their young and up and coming offense with Jared Goff and I almost said Alvin Kamara, Todd Gurley. They've just been playing really well. The Falcons have too, but the Falcons had some shaky games, and they lost to some weird teams too. Even though they did go pretty good with 10-6, I don't see a future another comeback for the Falcons in the Super Bowl. I see them getting taken out right here by the Rams. And for the final wildcard matchup, honestly, out of the 4 wildcard matches, I think this is the best wildcard matchup. We have the Saints and the Panthers. We got the Panthers being the wildcard team, and the Saints being the AFC South champions. But the thing about this is, they both had the same record at 11-5. Now, but the reason the Saints won the division is because they've beaten the Panthers in the division not only once but twice. They won that head-to-head. So this has been played 2 times before. The Saints have already played it. The Saints, defense has been playing really well. The offense, of course, 2 beast running backs, Mark Ingram, Alvin Kamara. The Panthers, of course, got Cam Newton, Christian McCaffrey. They've been playing good defense and offense too. This is honestly just a really good game for me. A lot of people are taking the Saints in this one, but I'm going with the Panthers. I'm sensing the upset here, even if I guess it could be considered an upset just because the Saints won it twice, so they're more likely to win this. But record-wise, they're the same skill. But I'm going to go with the Panthers. I think they can finally beat the Saints after two tries. Third time's the charm. And I just see the Panthers win this one. This is going to be a great game. It honestly could go either way, but this has been the year of the upsets, so I'm going with the Panthers beating the Saints. Alright, so that is what you see on the screen, my divisional matchups. The first one, we have the Chiefs and the Steelers. This game not only was played earlier in the year, but it was played last year in the same round of the playoffs, in the divisional round. And not only that, but the Chiefs also played the Steelers in the regular season last year as well. And out of those 3 games, the Steelers won them all. And I think they're winning this one too. As you guys know, I'm a Steelers fan, but the Steelers won the AFC North. They just have an elite offense, and their defense has been stepping up recently. And, they're getting Joe Hayden back. They should have Antonio Brown back, but even if they don't, they still got 2 beast receivers in Juju and Martavis Bryant. And if they can all play to their level, then, which they normally do during playoff time. They sometimes tweak in the regular season, but come playoff time, it's game on. Everyone's playing up to their level, so I think the Steelers can get this done. Sorry, Chiefs fans. I know the Steelers keep beating you, but you'll get your one day. But I just think the Steelers can win this. Like I said, it was played earlier this year, this match. The Steelers did win it. This is when the Chiefs were 5-0, undefeated. And yeah, who knows? The Chiefs defense is really good, and of course we have Kareem Hunt. See what he can do in the playoffs. But I think the Steelers will win that. Alright, the other AFC divisional round is the number 1 seed New England Patriots, who have won the AFC East, and the Jaguars, who won the AFC South. Now, this is going to be a good game. I have the Patriots winning this one. The Jaguars, like I said, their defense is good, but I feel like the Patriots are going to get one offense. It's going to be Tom Brady versus the Jaguars defense, which is going to be pretty good. I don't know. I can't see Blake Bortles advancing any further here. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just think the Patriots are the Patriots. And even though they have a beast defense, I feel like they will be outscored. And we'll see what Blake Bortles can do against the Patriots defense, and how much trouble the Jaguars defense will give the Patriots. But I think the Patriots will be beating the Jaguars and moving to the AFC Championship. Alright, for the NFC now, we have for the first division round the Vikings and the Rams. Now, this is going to be a good game. This was also played, the Vikings coming on top. For this one, though, I do have the Vikings winning once again. I feel like the Rams are going to be good. They're going to play them good, but I just don't think they'll have quite the defense, or they won't have quite the offense either, just because they're a little bit inexperienced. They're still Jared Goff and Todd Gurley. This is their second year in the NFL. They didn't do quite anything that special last year. This year they're doing really good. But I think the Vikings, even with Case Keenum, are going to be a little more experienced, and they just have a beast secondary, and I just see the Vikings coming out on top here and win, beating the Rams. It's going to be a close one. That's a good matchup, but I think the Vikings will win it. Alright, in the next AFC divisional round, the Panthers and the Eagles. Now, the Eagles, of course, they were the hype of the year. They won the AFC East by a long shot. Well, maybe not a long shot, but they won it pretty decently. And then, of course, I have the Panthers, the wild card that survived the wild card round. But if you guys have watched my whole prediction series, you know I've been saying for a while. At least I think I did on camera. Maybe I've been saying for a while that I believe the Eagles will get knocked down the first playoff game they play, and I'm sticking to that. I'm saying the Panthers win this. Carson Wentz isn't gonna be there, and I think the Eagles were a little bit too hyped up. Some people say they're really good. Other people say they're the easiest schedule. I still think the Eagles are a good team. I still don't think they're gonna be playoff worthy just yet. I don't think Nick Foles can advance them in the playoffs, and I just don't see the Eagles advancing. I never had, even with Carson Wentz. Who knows? Maybe next year. But I think the Panthers can win it. So there you go, guys. That's what I predict for the two conference championships, the AFC, the Steelers and Patriots rematch from last year's conference championship, and then for this year I have the Panthers and the Vikings. Now for the AFC conference championship, Steelers and Patriots. It was played earlier this year. We all know Jesse James caught that ball. Steelers should have won it. Refs disagreed. I've yet to see someone who isn't a Patriots fan say Jesse James did not catch that ball. Still yet to see that. I have the Steelers. As you guys know, I'm a Steelers fan. I always jack the Steelers. Even though I did take the Patriots winning, I predicted them winning in the regular season, I think this is the time they win in the playoffs. They beat the Patriots in the playoffs. It's this year. The Steelers need to go out with a bang. They need to send Ben Roethlisberger out with a bang, who sounds like he might be retiring soon, maybe even this year. The Ben, Brown, Bell, the 3 Bs, even Boswell too, the 4 Bs, they deserve to be in a Super Bowl. They are going to beat the Patriots. They have the motivation. James Harrison left them to go to the Patriots. They're still mad about the ref thing. A lot of them were talking about on Twitter. They will win this conference championship and moving to the Super Bowl. But who will their opponent be? The Panthers or the Vikings? And I have the Panthers. Why? Honestly, the Vikings are a good team, but I just can't, even though he was such a surprise and still is a good quarterback because of what he did, I just don't see Case Keenum being in the Super Bowl. I can see him advancing to where it is now in the divisional championship, but I just can't see him in the Super Bowl. I feel like that small factor there is going to cause them to fall and let the Panthers from the wild card spot slip into the Super Bowl. However, this matchup was played earlier and the Panthers did win it. Not that that means anything, but if it does, the Panthers can beat the Vikings. So, that's my Super Bowl prediction. The Panthers and the Steelers. Who do I have winning it? Like I said all season on my other prediction videos. Almost all season. You guys know I got the Steelers. Like I said in the conference championship when I was talking about that. Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell. They all deserve a Super Bowl. Chris Boswell. And even Joe Hayden, suffering at the Browns, finally is on a good team. He deserves to go big. Everyone on the Steelers, it's their year. Ben Roethlisberger may be retiring this year. Send him out with a bang with his 3rd Super Bowl. I think the Steelers can beat the Panthers in the Super Bowl, being Super Bowl 52 champions, thus completing my NFL playoff predictions and my NFL playoff bracket for the 2017-2018 season. There it is, guys. That is my complete prediction for the playoffs. Let me know how much you think I tweak. I know, because I'm a Steelers fan, there's definitely going to be controversy of me saying the Steelers are going to win the Super Bowl. But hey, everyone can have their prediction. I'll admit when my team's bad, but right now it honestly isn't. I know they can beat the Patriots, and I know they can beat the Panthers too. And maybe, I'm not a Panthers fan by any means, so I don't know. My whole prediction started deep ago. I said deep ago that the Super Bowl is going to be the Steelers and the Panthers. And I just kind of pulled that out of the air. I just thought, hey, the Panthers are on fire right now. So I keep mixing up the Patriots and the Panthers. I was like, the Panthers are on fire right now. I was like, you know what? They're going to go to the Super Bowl with the Steelers. I kind of just pulled it out of thin air. And then once the playoff picture came together, I was like, yo, that could actually do it. I can see that happening. I see this happening. Maybe it's not. But there will be one more video after this dealing with NFL predictions. And it's going to be comparing my playoff bracket to the playoff bracket that actually went down. And then we'll be done with NFL prediction videos till next season, which is kind of sad. But hey, I had fun this year. Started week 2 of the regular season. Now we're at the playoffs. I mean, I'm done predicting. I'm just comparing next video. So, yeah. It's crazy, but, hey. It was fun. And I'll definitely be doing this for next season and next season to come. But we're not done yet. We have to see how the playoffs fizzle out and compare to what I had before. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Like or dislike. Subscribe or don't subscribe. It's always up to you. And I'll see you guys in the next video you watch of me. Goodbye.